Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to today's session of GG Ahmedabad and GVG Trivandrum. And we have with us Gavin here. I think there's some problem, there's some fault at the side of Afzal. I think he has lost connection due to power failure, but he'll be joining in soon. So, for all those who have joined today, welcome to this particular session. And I'm joining with, Afzal is coming here. Hold on. Yeah. Is it power failure, Afzal, at your end?
Yes, exactly.
Oh God. Yeah. So I've just introduced about today's session. We're going live, and we have got few audiences with us. So we're just trying to bring Gavin here. Gavin is also here. So let's introduce Gavin here.
Hi,
Yeah.
Gavin.
Welcome,
Hello, good
Gavin.
evening.
Right.
How are
So,
you?
Gavin,
How is everybody? Everyone fine?
everything fine. It's an evening time in India here, and we have a very good audience today with us. We have more than 300 people joining us from different parts of our country. Uh, the members of GEG Ahmedabad, GEG Ahmedabad and GEG Trivandrum, sorry, and we call it as GEG TVM. That's the short
Yeah,
form.
that's
So,
better.
for all those who are present today and for the first time, and for Gavin, GG here stands for Google Educator Groups. We have around 24, 25 GGs in India. These are Google approved groups. They're officially announced by Google. They have a leader, they can have a co leader, and they can have captains like Learn Captain or Share Captain. There's a team who manages a GG, and in GG, Google Educator Group, we have lots of professional development activities going on weekly basis or fortnightly basis. Different GGs will cater to the need of the technical sharing needs of the members. So we teach here how to use EdTech in the class. So that's our thing, and it's completely voluntary. Google doesn't pay for it, and we as a leader also do this service to the members. That if suppose there is a new feature coming out in Google Docs or Google Slides, we share those features with the members. And today we are all happy to have you here, Gavin. We have most of the crowd here who is from the education background, either who is into a school, who is into a school management, or a school teacher, or a school leader. Probably they may not be so tech savvy over here, but they are all here to learn about UpSchool, and they're all eager to learn about the activities that you do throughout your profession and throughout the world. You have been to different places. So, without wasting much time, I would request you to please kindly introduce yourself. That'd be better, and we can have your session going on then. So, over to you, Gavin.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me, for having me. I feel humbled by those lovely words you have just spoken. I must quickly say that the reason we're all here today is because I met Mohammed Afsar at the Guest Education Conference. We bumped into each other. We had a conversation. It seemed that our thoughts were aligned, and therefore I feel honored to have met him. And yes, we are going to be friends for the rest of our lives. Inshallah, I hope so. So without further ado, I guess what I'd like to do first of all is just quickly give you an introduction to me for 1 minute, and then we'll get into UpSchool and what we can potentially offer you and your school going forward. It's very exciting at the moment, very exciting times. And I can see so many people in the chat. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat and we'll answer them at the end, hopefully. Okay, so my name is Gavin McCormack. I am school teacher, Montessori ambassador for Australia. I've done lots of work around the world in India, in the Middle East, in Europe, in China, and in Australia in education. I've worked with training teachers all over the world. I've done a TED Talk on education, XYZ. But my mission is clear, and it's for one reason only that I do this and put this time into this, is because I've seen the power of purposeful education when there is an attention, when there is a meaning behind what we are teaching. I've seen what happens to children. Number two, I've seen what happens to teachers when they are not given freedom, agency, choice, and the chance to be the teacher they always dreamed they could be. And so those two things, when they happen together, cause a dismal future when it looks to education, because students are disengaged and our teachers are uninterested. And this is a very bad equation. So what I'd like to present to you today is a potential solution, something that you can all do, something you can take away, something you can use. And before I even present anything, it's very important to say that everything you're about to see, everything I'm about to say is completely free. You never have to pay any money ever at all. It's all yours and it's all for free. And it should solve 1,000 problems for you as a teacher, as a principal, even as a parent. If you're tuning in, this should solve you lots and lots of problems. That is my aim. So let me present it to you and we'll see what happens. If you do have any questions, throw them in the chat. And at the end, we'll try to get through those questions if we possibly can. Is it possible to just share my screen on the
Gavin. So you can share the screen, and Gavin, we will be at the backstage. In case you need our assistance, you just call up by name and we'll be there with you. So we are.
I can see you. I can see you, no problem. If you can just make my shared screen more prominent, thank you so much. That was it. Yeah, all right. Perfect. That's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started. So welcome to UpSchool. UpSchool is an online platform designed to allow teachers, parents, students to engage in purposeful education. And what do I mean by that? I mean education where there is a meaning behind what we are teaching and a meaning behind what our students are doing. This is our team, myself and my two co-founders, Richard Mills and Jake Davies. We're all based in Australia, but we have team members all around the world, in India, in Bangladesh, in Nepal, and we're quickly growing, as you will see in a second, into all corners of the earth. Now, before I start and tell you what we do, let me give you two testimonials from two dear friends of mine who they've taken on the UpSchool into their schools. Number one is Megha. She was the principal at Rise Experiential School in Nasik, India. You might know her. And the other is Dr. Priti Olja. She is from Delhi Public School, Dwarka Expressway. They have taken on one of the UpSchool courses and their schools are doing phenomenal things. And I'll just read you very quickly a little bit of their quotes. Megha says, UpSchool is a blessing for the schools striving to implement pedagogy in line with the new education policy, NEP 2020. It helped us implement project-based learning in the classroom through the Be the Change project, which I'll talk about later. Let's go in to Dr. Priti Olja down here. She says, the best thing about UpSchool is very easy for any child to access the learning on the platform, because if the site has any tedious processes to log in and to find what to learn and so forth, we slowly lose interest. So our two key components here is the work that we are doing on our platform is meaningful, and number two, it's extremely easy to access. So the first thing to say to anybody who's coming along from India, we all know you have the NEP 2020. This NEP 2020 mandates that you must address some of the SDG goals from the United Nations. So what we've done, we've made sure that all of our courses, every single bit of content is aligned with the SDGs from the United Nations. So your job is done for you. You don't have to worry about how will I align my curriculum with the NEP 2020. We've done that work for you. Every single course, every single piece of content is aligned. So therefore, this solves a huge problem. Now, if you're coming from a country which is not India and you don't know what the NEP 2020 is, don't worry. The SDGs are coming to every curriculum on the planet. And if you want to get ahead of the game, well, this allows you to be able to do that. Number two, our course is designed to allow your students to have global citizenship, global outreach right across the planet. Where your school might feel quite isolated, suddenly your school will be connected to a global network of schools who are all doing the same thing. That's part of the thing that underpins us. And number three, and I think this is the most important, is every single course comes with free teacher training for your parents and for your teachers, delivered by myself. So I train your teachers every single lesson, every single course, giving them an advanced understanding of some of the futuristic pedagogies that are out there, and also some of the old ones, going back to Maria Montessori's pedagogy from Montessori. So what do we do? Well, we offer you a number of things. Number one, Live lessons are beamed into your school every single week. I teach them, and you can tune in every single week to these lessons. They're differentiated, and all you need to do is click a link, book in every Wednesday, and I will literally teach your class for you every single week. Number two, which is really, really cool, is I travel to some of the most remote locations on the planet. And what I do is I deliver the courses from those locations. So if we're teaching geology, I will go to the tops of a mountain. If we're teaching the sustainability process of the Arctic, I go to the Arctic. I recently went to Antarctica for 20 days to teach lessons on penguins and on blue whales and on elephant seals, you name it. All of these lessons are delivered to you. But what I do is I deliver them from the location. And the concept behind that is your children are being asked to talk about concepts which are so abstract to them. If you're living in India, it's probably very unlikely as a child that you will see an ice cap in the North or South Pole. But with the power of the internet and our platform, we deliver that straight into your classroom so that your students can feel that their teacher, me, is actually engaging them from the location. Now, this will become important in a second, but let me explain this to you. We actually have 12 charity partners, soon to be 14 charity partners. And these charity partners enable your students to actually make a difference in the world. Now, bear with me a second while I explain this, but let me explain one of these charities to you, and it will become very important why I'm telling you about it in a second. So take a look at the charities. They are handpicked by our team. But look at the charity So They Can. So They Can is a charity that rescues girls in Uganda from being sold at the age of 14. So instead of a girl being sold, they rescue them and they put them into school. All of these charities do amazing things around the world, but I've focused on So They Can for a particular reason, which will become clear in just a second. Now, we're in about 165 countries around the world. We've only been going for 1 year. So obviously what we're doing is required in the world. Teachers are coming on board. Schools are engaging a great deal. Now, these are just showcasing some of the courses that we have around our platform. Obviously, there are many more than this, but we have courses that are about climate change, courses about literacy, writing a book to change the world, courses about values. Most of these courses are 10-week courses. Some of them are 1-week courses or shorter. And every single month, we are releasing new courses for you to engage with your students, all of which come with teaching programs, parent training, teacher training, and everything is done for you. You literally have to do nothing. Now, some of the impacts that our courses are having around the world, as you can see in the top left corner, we have children teaching children in fields. Quality education, SDG number 4. We have children planting forests, SDG number 13. We have children writing songs, children writing to politicians, making SWOT analysis, making it into the Hindustan Times newspapers, doing all the things that we dream of in our classroom, but the work is done for you. And these are just a few to show you there are many more happening around the world. Now, let me focus in on 3 courses now and explain them to you, just to give you a bit of an insight as to how these work. The first thing to say is this: the courses will all fit in to what you are already teaching in your school. So for example, this course, Write a Book to Change the World, this course fits into literacy. And all it would take is for you to give 1 period per week to this course. And what will happen in this course is your children in your school get to learn about personifications, grammar, sentence structure, narrative writing, character development. They get to learn how to write a story, but they also get to learn how to illustrate that story using Canva. And we have this presentation you're looking at now is actually presented on Canva. And for every single child, teacher, adult who enrolls on our platform, you get a free Canva Pro account for every single person in your school. Normally, $20 per month per person, but every single child and teacher and parent in your community gets it for free forever. So that's how they illustrate their book. But what's really important about this course is when a child writes, illustrates, and publishes their book, and this book is published on our platform. We have an online library. Just before they publish the book, the platform asks them, When somebody buys a copy of your book, where would you like the money, the profits to go? Now, if you look in the top right corner, that is a little boy from Calcutta called Divyam Malpani, and he's written a book. Now, he's sold many, many copies of this book. Now, the money doesn't go to him. The money doesn't go to me. The money goes to the charity which he chose. He chose So They Can. And So They Can rescues girls in Uganda who were going to be sold, and they now get to go to school. And what happens to him? He gets a notification saying, well done, you just sold 5 copies of your book, and now 5 girls are going to school instead of being sold. And that is the kind of empowerment that we want on our platform. What we really want from our students is we want them to do the work, follow the curriculum, try their best. But at the end of a course, we don't want them to get a tick, a point, a score, a percentage, or impress their teacher. We want something in the world to change, something that they choose. And Divyam Malpani, he chose to save girls in Uganda. And look, girls in Uganda are being saved. Now, he's got 12 charities to choose from. Some of those charities, they rescue children who are blind and help them to see. They give women in India microloans so they can start their businesses. Or they plant forests in the Amazon rainforest where deforestation is at its worst. The children get to choose. And so far, we have around about 10,000 books already published by children all around the world who are doing what the curriculum tells them, but the objective is to change the world, not to impress their teacher or their parents. Now, this course is called Be the Change. Named after Mahatma Gandhi, Be the Change you wish to see in the world. This course allows students in your school to work collectively, to find a group, to develop leadership and cohesion and community and camaraderie and collaboration and communication skills, and they choose an SDG. We give them 12 objectives. 12 objectives to achieve their SDG, and they work as a team to try to meet those objectives. And if they do, miracles happen. And the example you're looking at right here is Rise Experiential School in Nashik, which I visited earlier this year in September. In February. What they did, they used the power of the course to write letters to a prominent politician. Now, the politician received hundreds and hundreds of persuasive letters, and he gifted them a piece of land. What they then did, they wrote to an horticultural society and asked for a sapling loan. The horticultural society gave them some saplings, they planted them, and they grew their very own forest with the objective of attracting some birds to the location and providing some shade for local people who gather there to visit a local temple. How amazing is this? This is real success. And the end of this, the children promised the Horticultural Society that because it was a loan, they would then take some cuttings from their saplings and gift back the saplings they had been given. And this is what we want. Be the Change is a remarkable course because it ends with a conference, the World Children's Education Conference, at the end of the year in November. And we invite schools from all over the world to present at that conference. It's a one-of-a-kind conference, and it's actually attended by the United Nations themselves. This course is a remarkable course. It literally revolutionizes your school completely. And third, sorry, I've gone backwards. I apologize. Our third course is called It Starts With You. And this course was all filmed in the North Pole. During this course, we talk about climate change SDG 13. This is the NEP 2020. This allows you to achieve that goal, as well as the other courses. This also does too. These children here are from Delhi Public School Dwarka Expressway. They also decided to plant their very own forest. This was remarkable work. I actually flew to Delhi to inaugurate this forest with Dr. Priti Olja, who did an amazing job at leading this. But what's important to say is these courses are not something extra. These courses are not something that you have to add on to the curriculum. These courses can be done as part of your normal school timetable. As you can see, this one is science. Be the Change is social studies and humanities and geography. Write a book to change the world is literacy. You literally have to slip a part into the timetable, and then your teachers, your parents, your students will all change the way they look at education as well as changing the world and making it brilliant. And what's important, it is completely free of charge. Now, I'm just going to play you a video. This video is 6 minutes long. I'm going to play it for you, and hopefully you can see it and hear it. This will show you what could potentially happen in your school. Now, before I do that, I just want to explain something to you. That at the end of this meeting, when this meeting is over, I'm going to email every single person who came to this meeting. And I'm going to send you an email, and in that email is a spreadsheet. Now, all you need to do is populate the spreadsheet and send it back to me. And I will enroll all of your students, all of your teachers, all of your community completely for free overnight. You will receive all of those people enrolled, and every single person will get a free Canva Pro account. But better than that, your school will change, and you may get a visit from me. I will turn up at your school with a film crew, and what I will do is I will actually assist you in making your words, your actions into a movie to show the rest of the world, and something you can also use on your platform. So I'm just going to play this video, and hopefully it plays.
Gavin,
And hopefully you...
1 second, Gavin. There will be a form shared at the end of this event. So please fill in that. Then only we can send over the email that Gavin just mentioned to you. So be sure to be fill that form, which will be there in the ending of this session. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood that. No problem. Okay, so I'll play this, have a watch, relax, and see the magic that happens in one school can certainly happen in yours. Why did you decide to create a school, and a school so wonderful as this one?
I wanted to do something on my own, and which deeply connects to me. I always thought to bring opportunities for children to experience more, to explore, and if they can find their talents and we can help them nurture those talents, and they're able to live their passion. So something on these lines, I would say, that was the thought behind starting the school.
So 6 months ago, we released the course Be the Change on the UpSchool platform. Be the Change is designed to allow children to choose an SDG from the United Nations, one that matters to them, and then they embark on this journey where they take on social activities in their community to try to change the world. Your school was one of the pioneers of that course. You were one of the first people to enroll. Why did you choose Be the Change? What attracted you to the course?
I was looking at opportunity that how do I integrate a project-based learning system in my school. With the new education policy coming, I wanted to have an integrated project where the whole school participates. And on the top of it, I am really keen and passionate about skill-based learning. So to get the ball rolling, I said I came across Be the Change, and I felt that this is it. Let's get started. And it helped me deliver the complete project-based learning experience where students actually towards the end took action, and the action that they took was they're planting trees in the forest. They are teaching a school that is not well resourced like ours, and they're also doing a food donation drive. They're delivering food out there, and all of this, my students are happy.
These amazing children around us here have chosen zero hunger, and just down the street there is a school where children don't get fed every single day. In fact, sometimes there is no food for those children. However, these children here at Rise Experiential School have decided that they're going to stop all of that. They collect food, they bring it from their homes. As you can see, they make sandwiches and they head down to a school just down the street to help the world become a better place by feeding those who find it very, very hard to get food. Now, this one you're doing today is SDG 1.
SDG 4, quality education.
Quality education. Every week or every few weeks, you get these children together.
Yes.
Now, this is not your school, is it?
No, it's not us.
So why are you here?
We just want to make them aware of the outside world, because their thinking is very conservative. So we want to make them more knowledgeable about the outside world. me to help them. See their satisfying faces. It gives a very different satisfaction that I'm a human being and I'm able to help everyone.
Your children have chosen zero hunger and quality education. One group of children has designed lesson plans within their own school and resources, and another group has made sandwiches and food, and they travel to your school together, and then they visit your school, and when they arrive, one group teaches your children, and then afterwards they all eat food and talk about how healthy that food is. I mean, it's pretty amazing to think that that's happening in the world.
We got connected with UpSchool, and the SDG goals which were introduced to us through the program which you initiated, Be the Change. From there, leadership quality was developed in them because they started planning the things. It's not only the skill which they developed, but the attitude is also changed. It's like empathy, sympathy, both the things which are strongly reflected by them.
Now, this morning we travelled from Wise Experiential School. We hopped on the bus. We travelled with all of these wonderful saplings to this remote area in India. It's very hot. What are you doing here?
We are planting trees here to provide some shade and habitats for the birds and animals.
I understand you've got a sapling loan. You have to give them back.
Yes.
That's amazing. So you didn't take a money loan. No, you took a sapling.
We take a tree transaction.
Yeah, a tree transaction.
Yes.
I love that. Wow, so you're literally planting your own forest.
Yes.
It's amazing to see the work that you're doing here. It's just amazing to see you have this team. And this, in a few months, will be a forest with shade, and birds will be singing, and butterflies will be flying. How will you feel when you return and it looks like that?
So after some time, I see the trees are grown, people are sitting, chill, and talk with the others, children are playing. I feel so happy just that I have planted these trees few years ago and then they are grown.
Our students have taken few initiatives with the support of UpSchool. I can see the impact they have created in the society, and at the same time, the learning which is going on while doing all these projects is commendable. This week we have been in Nasik in India with Rise Experiential School. As you know, absolute magic happened in this part of the world. The children here have collected their own food resources. They make sandwiches. They've organized tree plantations, written letters, made phone calls, planted their very own forest, all in the cause of making the world a better place. And I can safely say that this week they have 100% succeeded in making the big blue ball that we all live on a little bit better.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry it's a little bit long, but I wanted to show you what's possible in your school. Now, as I said before, at the end of this meeting, we've got about 15 minutes now for any questions that you might have. I know that Mohammed has got some questions also pre-prepared, but there's a couple of things that you can do from this point onwards. On the screen, you will see there's a QR code. That QR code will take you directly to our website if you want to have a look around. But number two, I think what's really important, this is the easiest way, is, as Mohammed said, Mohammed will share with you a form. If you really want to be involved, and I would love you to be, just fill the form in, and then I will email you personally. And there's a little bit of a secret. If you go to the website, there is a small chat bot that appears on the website. That is not a bot. That's actually me. So if you need any help, just go to the website, and the bot that appears, just type any questions, and I answer it 24 hours a day. I mean, I should be asleep, but I'm not. But I'm doing it because I want education to be better, and especially in your schools. A couple of things to mention. It's completely free. You never have to pay. Everything is completely free. Teaching programs are all embedded. Teacher training, parent training, all the courses are free. There's also a huge resource bank there, and we have live webinars continuously. And that's it from me, Mohammed. Thank you, everybody, for listening to me. I hope that it's been fun, and I can't wait to see you all come onto the platform as soon as possible.
Yeah, thanks, Gavin. I would also request you if you can just show your website to the audience.
Yeah, I can definitely do that if you wish.
Yeah.
Would you like
So
me to
to
give
make
you
things-
a quick tour, like a 2-minute tour?
Yes. So
Sure.
we will be
Okay.
comfortable in filling up details there.
No, I will do that now. Just give me a second while I just stop sharing this screen. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So let me just show you what it looks like on the inside. So this is inside a course. So let's say you've come into a course, and this is the course It Starts With You, which is filmed from the North Pole. So on the left-hand side, you can see here you've got learning sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Each of these is 1 week. So this is week 1, this is week 2, week 3, week 4, and this is just one course of all the courses that you've got. Let me show you how it looks. So on the left-hand side is your weekly progression. On the right-hand side over here is your content. First thing to say is each week you get a teacher training video. And this is from me. And what happens is I give your teachers a small 3-minute training session on how to teach this week's content.
This is a very exciting day for me personally. We have gone to the Arctic.
So I won't show it to you, but you can get the gist. It's a teacher training course each week. And also, there's a parent training course. This can be sent home to your parents, and that allows your parents to ask the right questions at the dinner table or talk before they go into bed about what's been happening this week. As you know, parents play an important role in our children's education. So this looks the same, completely different content because I'm talking to parents. Okay, so let's get into the content. So this is 1 week, don't forget. This might take 60 to 90 minutes for you to deliver. It can be done in 2 ways. It can be done as an independent task given to your students. Or number 2, you can stand at the front of your classroom with the interactive whiteboard, click play, and your students can all take part in front of you. So this is your introduction. Every section has some teacher notes, which tell you as the teacher exactly how to teach this section. Then down here, this is what you will read with your students. And over here is the video. And this video is me teaching your class directly. And this video in particular, I'm actually in the North Pole, you will see, and I'm teaching from the side of a lake, not far from the North Pole. And this week is all about geology. So I'm talking about rocks and mountains and all of these things. Okay, so I won't go on with that. Down here, you have your lesson plan for the week. If you click this button, this appears. Every week you get a fully, a very detailed lesson plan, which I write all of these. And the good thing about these is they're all editable, so you can change the text. If these outcomes do not match your local requirements, you can change it. Even better, you can go to tools and you can actually translate the whole thing. If you're speaking Bengali, well, you click here, translate, and the whole lesson plan will translate to Arabic, Bengali, Hindi, anything you like in the click of a button, no problem whatsoever. So let's continue. This is 1 week, don't forget. So here you have your weekly keywords. Every week you get a set of keywords, which your students will define using a dictionary or using pairs or partners or a group. Once again, some teacher notes to give you ideas of how to teach it and what the children will read. Continue. Every week there's a comprehension task. This comprehension task card is made by me, and this is all about geology in the Arctic. My internet's slow, so never mind about that, but you can see the way it looks. Children read it, and they answer these questions here. You can download it. Then there's an activity for them to do, a local study. Then there's a researching their local area, and a task card associated with that with some research questions. Once again, teacher notes every single time. And then we continue to a closing video, which is me again talking to your students about what they've just learned and what's going to come next week. Once again, it's from the Arctic or wherever the location may be. Okay, closing video. Now, let's come to the extension activity. One of the questions that I always get is, how can younger children engage with this content if they're in kindergarten or even in preschool? Yes, it's very difficult. It's very high level. We do have some courses like the Values for a Better Tomorrow is purely for preschool students only. However, this course, as you can see, is very year 3, year 5, year 7 content. So what we do is I've devised these, and these are lesson plans. Now, they're not lesson plans for teachers. These are lesson plans for students. Sorry, it's not loading. My internet is failing. Never mind. There it is. These are lesson plans for students. So let's see. You've got a year 9 student who's done the course this week. He downloads the lesson plan, and you buddy your year 9 with a kindergarten child or a year 6 with a year 1 child. What happens is when they finished their learning, they download the lesson plan. On the right-hand side, things they will teach. On the left-hand side, resources they need. The children gather their resources, they read the lesson plan, you send them down to kindergarten, and they reteach the content, developing leadership, mentorship, cohesion in your school between year groups, stops bullying, builds collaboration. All these wonderful things start to happen. But also, we know that when students teach something they've just learned, we consolidate that learning by tenfold. We all know that because we're teachers. And the last thing, and this comes every single week, you have this. And the last thing is we have an extension activity, which in this week is actually a geology scavenger hunt where the children go and find different landforms. Now, that's just 1 week's worth of content. Obviously, you can see this course has 10 weeks, and we have many, many courses for you to choose from. So all of the work is done for you. The last thing I will say, I'll just show you one more thing, which will probably make you very happy. Let me look here. Is, where is it? No, not here. 1 second. Oh, I can't find it. But also, I make a high-level scope and sequence, a big overview document for your program folders, documenting the full 10 weeks in very much detail in one document. So you have all the planning that you need to go on into, to present this to your coordinator. If the government were to come in and do an inspection, there would be no problems with this, of course. So with that, I will hand it over to you. There are many more things, obviously, that you could probably ask. But right now, I guess we'll stop there, and I'll hand it over to you to see if there's any questions from your side.
So there is one basic question here, Gavin, is how to register a school or how to register students to UpSchool.
Well, as I said earlier, what will happen at the end of this is I will send an email to you, or Mohammed or somebody will send an email to you. And in that email, there will be a Google Sheet. In that Google Sheet, all you need to do is fill it in. You fill in the names of your students with their email addresses. You send it back to me, and I then upload all of your entire community for you, no problem. You don't need to do anything. All of your students will receive an email saying you are now on the UpSchool platform, and they can start accessing all of the courses for free. That's the best way to do it. And also, every single person who does it that way will receive a free Canva Pro account. And as you can see, these books on your screen, these books were all written on Canva Pro, and these are the front covers of 5,000 books that are sitting on our platform. I hope that answered. Any more questions?
There is a question in the screen. You can read it.
How have you motivated to introduce UpSchool? So I guess the question means, what caused me to create UpSchool? Okay, so I'm in a group of 3 co-founders. I've worked all over the world in different schools, and I was a school principal for 5 years, and I was running my own school. Now, in my school, we did all of this. Everything was purposeful. We were planting forests. We were saving refugees from Myanmar. We were collecting money for the homeless. We were doing everything possible in my school. And I thought to myself, why are many other schools not doing this? And the reason was because, well, there were multiple reasons, actually. Number one, they didn't know it existed. Number two, they didn't have the skills to be able to design it or deliver it. And number three, it was something that wasn't allowed in their school. Their principal said, no, we don't do that. We only work to the test. We just want tests and points and scores. But we know now, it's documented all over the world that this is not good for our students to only focus on tests and points and scores. Yes, they have to be smart, but just focusing on tests does not solve the problem we're facing in the world. What we need in the world are leaders who are in your classroom right now. In fact, They're all sitting in your classroom tomorrow morning. They're all there. They're waiting for you to grow them into leaders for tomorrow. So when they're a CEO or an executive or on the board of directors of a large corporation, and when somebody says to them, hey, by the way, if we cut down the forest, we can make a lot of money. Or if we drill over there and get more coal, we can make a lot of money. Or if we build another power station and pollute the air, we can make a lot of money. We want leaders of tomorrow to say, no, that is not happening. Because my responsibility is not about making money and making myself rich. My responsibility is to the rest of humanity. The children who will go after me, and the children who will go after them, and the children who will go after them. That is what we want from our children. We want empathy, love, understanding, compassion, all of those wonderful skills to develop. And this is what UpSchool will allow you to do, because your students will realize that going to school is not about passing a test. Going to school is about getting smart, developing skills, and then using your knowledge and your skills to make the world better. Because the world is not good at the moment. We have wars, hunger, famine, global warming. It's a nightmare. And the people who will solve that problem are sitting on the carpet in your classroom, and we want to make them solve that problem and empower them. So in answer to your question, that is why we created UpSchool. And with your help, with you saying, Gavin, we're coming, we're on board, we're going to enroll every student in the entire school. When that happens, I won't get to see the magic that happens around the world, but I go to bed at nighttime and I lay there going to sleep thinking, wow, I wrote this course in my little room. I'm in a tiny little room in a small house. I wrote this course about planting a forest or saving the ice caps, and people are doing it and the world is improving and I feel happy. So, that is the reason why, but I need your help as well as you need me. I write the course, but if you don't do the course, then I fail. So we need each other. But the second thing I would say is, I love seeing the magic happen around the world. So if your school does something amazing, if you say, Gavin, we're planting a forest, can you come? Then I will try my best to be there. Although I'm not a millionaire, I don't have a private jet, but if I can be there, then I will come. And I will bring a film crew, and we will make a film just like the one you've seen and celebrate all this wonderful work. So, that is my motivation reality. It's not about money. In fact, the whole thing is completely free. So if it was about money, then it wouldn't be free.
Gavin, a question came in which a teacher has asked, how can the teachers track the participation of students?
Well, the teachers can track it on their own, of course. Inside the website, it's a learning management system. So the children progress through each of the learning sequences. When they finished one, they click complete. And when they get to the end, they must do a little quiz. It's a very short and simple quiz. It's not a test. They answer a few questions, they put their name, and then we send them a personalized certificate from UpSchool and from the United Nations that they can then print, frame, put it on their wall. And so that's one way to track them, is to see, did you complete it? And have you got the certificate? And I write the certificates myself and I send them to their email address. So it's very busy at the moment. I have thousands to write, but I do these on a Sunday, so this is fine. And I don't mind writing more. So enroll all of your kids. I don't mind about that.
That's exactly another question that came in. How do you manage these many schools and students?
Well, everything is pre-recorded, so it's not live. So it's pre-recorded. All I have to do is make the content, pre-record the content, put it on the platform, and then off you go. I'm very approachable. Like Mohammed, I gave you my telephone number. We met 1 minute, and now we are best friends, which I love so deeply. And same with Rise Experiential School. They called me, Gavin, can you please come? Yes, I'll come. So, I'm very open to talking with you, to helping you as much as I can. Obviously, there's only one of me, but I will do everything I can possible, even in the middle of the night, to try to assist you if you need. So I don't mind. I really don't mind. I feel happy when you ask for help.
Okay, there were some questions on what teaching method should be introduced to grade 1 to 5 as per your suggestion?
Yeah, so grade 1 and 2, this is too hard. Too difficult for grade 1 and 2. Grade 3 and above. Grade 3 all the way to, I have a lady now, she's 82. She's doing my course. So I'd say from grade 3 to 82 years of age, you can do the courses. No problem whatsoever. For children who are younger, as I said in the presentation, each lesson comes with a lesson plan. You get your buddy system. Older children, you team them up with a younger child. And every week they go down and they reteach it to a younger child. Actually, what you will find if you do that process is that becomes the most favorite time of your older students, getting their documents together and then getting a folder and heading down to kindergarten because they feel so responsible. Like, I am a teacher and I've seen this. The children absolutely love this moment. So yes, but there is one course. Actually, I will show it to you now because I'm sharing my screen. There is one course which I have designed, and it is predominantly for for preschool to kindergarten. And this is this course here, Values for a Better Tomorrow. This one here with the pink, this is predominantly for preschool children. So you can click this. It's a 10-week course again, but the content is simpler and the outcomes are simpler, but still the children get to have global reach and do all the wonderful things that we expect them to do. Yes. So yes, any more questions? I saw a question coming up. Do teachers get a certificate too? Of course they do. But teachers, I must say this, you only get a certificate if you complete the course. And because you are a teacher, it's very easy for you to complete the course as a teacher. But what I will say is next week we are releasing our teacher training program. It's a 10-module, 200-hour teaching training course on how to be a teacher of the 21st century. So you can also do that as well. But that's not live yet, but it will be live in a few days. I've just finished writing it.
Gavin, you had mentioned about a teacher training content. Any light on that?
Yes. So each week you get a small teacher training video, of course, only 3 minutes long, very short snippet. It's good though. It's good. It's good. The content is good. It's based on Montessori method. I'm a Montessori trained teacher, but also I've spent the last 6 months writing a teacher training course, and I planned to write it in 3 months. But as I was writing it, I realized there was so much I needed to put in there about assessment and observation and the power of independence in your classroom and using resources. So as I was writing it, it got longer and longer and longer until it was 6 months to write. But now I'm very happy with the content. I just have 2 moderators. They're reading it now. And then maybe in a week, 10 days, that will become on the platform too. And you will have access to that also.
One more question that came up is giving online classes to students. What is your opinion? Is it good or bad?
Well, a hybrid is good. Yes, online classes, they do a job. However, you can't beat face-to-face education where children can feel and touch and walk and move and smell and taste. Of course, this is extremely important. In fact, this is in the teacher training course. When you go in there, you will see this. There is teacher-centered learning and there is student-centered learning. We all know the difference between the two. Teacher-centered, I do the talking, I'm important, I know everything you need to know. If you listen to me, you will be smart. This is not what we want in the 21st century, unfortunately. Child-centered learning is this. Let me inspire you. I'm not going to teach you, I'm going to inspire you. And then when I've inspired you, I'm then going to ask you what you want to know. I'm going to set you off on a research task. And all of our courses operate just like that. I inspire your students, and then I tell them, here are all the choices of the journey of your learning. You decide which journey you go on. And a way to kind of explain that to you is if you look at the children planting a forest, I didn't tell them to plant a forest at all. I just gave them 1,000 options, and they chose one that they liked. Theirs was planting a forest. So each school, each group, each cohort will do different things. and we need to let them do that, because if they fail, that's okay. Through failure becomes great avenues of learning. So it's about letting go, letting the child have agency, have freedom, develop confidence, independence. All those things are embedded in all of the courses here. Any more questions, Mohammed?
There was one more question in the chat box, like just as we had the question in for pre-standards, like standard 1 to 1, first, second, third. Similarly, what kind of activities can we do for grades 9 to 12 in urban area?
9 to 12, you can do all of these. Look, in urban areas, this is an interesting one. So you don't need every child to have a device. You know, all of the projects that we do, they're not based on running it on a device. All you need is a whiteboard or a projector. If you've got a projector or an interactive whiteboard, we have schools in Uganda with 700 children, one projector, one laptop, one whiteboard, and they are running the whole course. So you can do it with nothing. I've literally made it so that if every child has an iPad, that's fine. However, if you only have a limited amount of resources, then you can still achieve the goals. And what I would say to you is this: if you are struggling, if you are in a school with no resources, then write to me. Write to me, find my email address on LinkedIn and write to me. And then I will put it on my LinkedIn, and somebody will send you a projector. Somebody will send you a laptop. Somebody will send you a whiteboard. And this happens all the time. I recently had a school in India, over in Ladakh. They wanted to come on board. They had no resources. I put on LinkedIn, this school wants to come on board. They got 3 projectors, 10 laptops, 6 whiteboards, like this. So people want to help. Not me. I didn't help, so don't clap me. But there are people in the world who want to help. If you are struggling and you don't have access, you write to me, and I will try my best to help you.
That's really
And tell you
inspiring.
all something that happened with Gavin. You all remember the Nepalese aircraft crash a few months ago. Gavin was supposed to travel the next day in that aircraft, so it was a life getting back life moment for him. Gavin, can you just explain that moment for us?
I can explain it, although it's very scary to remember. And so I was in Nepal building a school in Kalanki. If you know Nepal, you will know that Kalanki is in the center. I was building a school there in a small village. And after the building was finished, I wanted to fly to the Himalayas and climb a mountain called the Madhi Himal. And I wanted to do some teaching from the top at 6,000 meters. I took my camera crew up to the top, and we recorded a lesson. It's on the platform called The Importance of Mountains. You can find it if you enroll. And I booked my flight to fly from Kathmandu to Pokhara. But I found out after booking my flight that the flight was full, and they asked me to leave the flight. You can't be on this flight. It's full. You must get another flight. So I got another flight. I got an earlier flight, the flight before. Now, the flight that I was going on crashed and killed everybody on the plane. Everybody died. And so I was already in the mountains because I took the earlier flight. In the mountains, climbing, I had no reception. I didn't see anything and no news. I came down 6 days later. I'd look on my iPhone, and my WhatsApp is thousands of messages because everybody thinks that I'm on the flight and dead. And the strange thing is, it's very sad, but there was an Australian teacher on the aeroplane, and he was killed. So in Australia, where all my friends are, the news said Australian teacher killed in Nepalese air crash. And all my friends know I'm getting on this flight, and they think it's me. So for 4 or 5 days, lots of people thought I was dead. Luckily, I wasn't dead, thank God. Alhamdulillah, that's good. But I'm sad to hear the people who did die. But yes, you are right, Mohammed. I've been given a second chance at living. Some power in the universe saved my life, thank goodness. So I'm here, thank God, and I will continue to try to work with you, Mohammed Afzal. Maybe you are the good luck that I needed.
Yeah, that's interesting to learn. Indeed, saved. Blessings from God.
Yes, indeed. So, Mohammed, can you give us a lowdown of? I have to go. I'm sorry. I have to go to another conference in 6 minutes. and I haven't even made the presentation for that conference yet. So I have 6 minutes to make a presentation very quick. But Mohammed, can you just tell us what will happen next? How will I get all of the attendees to receive my email?
Once the participants fill up the form, I will share that details with you, and you can go ahead and share your email with the spreadsheet in it, and they can go ahead and fill up with all the details for the students as well as teachers who wants to participate in UpSchool, and that's it. Everyone will be on board UpSchool.
Beautiful. I want to say one thing to all of your participants. Well, I want to say 3 things. Number one, thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, Dr. Vishal. It's been beautiful. And thank you for organizing this and having me. I feel humbled to even know you. So I feel appreciative. Number 2, I appreciate everybody for coming and listening for so long. It's been 1 hour. I really appreciate you and your time and all the hard work you do as teachers. I'm also a teacher, so I know that it's not the easiest job in the world. It's a thankless task, but hopefully we can develop leaders of tomorrow so we can change the world together. And third, I wanted to say this is really important. If you are coming on board and you want to have a free Canva account, I only have a limited amount of Canva accounts. I have 50,000 to give away. That's it. And I've given quite a few away already. So if you are very keen on getting your Canva account, when you receive the email from me, and it might go to your junk, so in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, check your junk mail, check your main mail. If you want your free Canva account, fill in the spreadsheet and send it back as soon as possible. And then we can onboard your whole school.
Brilliant. So indeed, a very, very inspiring session from you, Gavin. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of learning. There's lots of, energy that you have supplied to us. And it's been pleasure learning about you. It's been pleasure learning about the pedagogy that you are using to teach the students and inspire the teachers around the globe. So this session is going to be really a memorable session for everyone, and I'll be even sharing you the statistics that how this video went away. What will be the viewing of this video later. And so far as the emails are concerned, yes, we'll be floating in feedback form here today. And those who will be filling up the feedback, we shall be sharing with Gavin as well. And this is how Gavin will receive your emails. And this is how you will be receiving Gavin's email later so that you can reciprocate with Gavin. So Gavin, it has been really wonderful of you to spare time for us, for the GEG community here, for the educators who have joined today. And it's indeed learning from you, all the things, the energy you put into your work, the energy you have shared with us, inspired all the teachers today by how you do the work. This is really great. And we all have got the inspiration, and I'm pretty sure that all the teachers here present today, all the audience that is present today is going to respond back to you, and you're going to get a very good amount of community here. And I'm also sure that everyone would be willing you to visit their schools. So be prepared for your next couple of trips there, and you will be invited to their schools as well.
No problem. I will be there. I will be there 100% if I can. Inshallah, as Mohammed would say. Yes.
Yes, inshallah. And for those who still wants to ask any questions, as Gavin mentioned, go to upschool.co, and there you can find a small genie kind of a chat bot where you can type in directly, and Gavin will be there to answer you directly. So it's upschool.co. I just want to make it clear. It's not com, it's co, upschool.co. Okay. And one of the wonderful things that I saw in UpSchool is there is teacher training content along with the pedagogy content. So that's one of the wonderful things that I found in UpSchool. And I wish you all the best to Gavin and the team who work so hard behind this, and wish you all the success.
My pleasure. Thank you. And also, if you need anything, you know where I am.
Fine. All the best, Gavin.
Okay. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody.
Yeah. So thanks, everyone, for joining in for today's session. And that's all from us now. And if required, we shall be back soon again with another such session. Yeah, that's.
And before we wrap up, if you are not part of a GEG anywhere in India, do find a GEG close to you and join it. You will be in touch with our community, and you can participate in such events in the future also.
Well, glad to have you all today. See you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.